Welcome to Alaska, the last frontier. Early in the morning, we head south on the Seward Highway from Anchorage towards Whittier. The highway is named for William H. Seward, the guy who bought Alaska from Russia. As we ride through Turnagain Arm, which was named by the British explorer James Cook, who was forced to turn again when the waterway didn't hold the fabled Northwest Passage during his 1778 voyage. We experience spectacular mountains on both sides of the highway that rise to 6,000 feet as the Alaska Railroad slowly makes its trek north towards the interior of Alaska. The only way to get to Whittier is through the Anton Anderson Memorial Tunnel, better known as the Whittier Tunnel. The tunnel is a dual-use highway and railroad tunnel that passes through the 4,137-foot Maynard Mountain. It is the second longest highway tunnel and the longest combined rail and highway tunnel in North America. As we exit, we pass by the Grand Princess cruise liner and into Whittier, which is the gateway to Prince William Sound. Over the next 6 hours, we will travel over 150 miles over the calm waters of Prince William Sound, America's largest intact marine ecosystem carved by 15 million years of glaciations. We are surrounded by the jaw-dropping beauty of towering mountains and glaciers. We are now entering College Fjord. The fjord was named by members of the Harriman expedition, which explored the region in 1899. They named the glaciers in the fjord after some of the country's oldest eastern universities. The fjord contains 5 tidewater glaciers. Those are glaciers that terminate in water. 5 large valley glaciers, and dozens of smaller glaciers. Harvard Glacier is the largest of the College Fjord glaciers, and it's the second largest tidewater glacier in Prince William Sound. Harvard Glacier is the most dramatic to observe. Its face is 1.5 miles wide, 500 feet high, and stretches 24 miles back to the Chugach ice field. We get as close as 0.2 of a mile from the glacier. Our captain says the glacier has been active over the past 24 hours, with a lot of ice floating around its face and our boat. This is caused by calving, which is when ice breaks away from the face of the glacier and falls into the water. Now in Blackstone Bay, Blackstone Glacier comes into view. The famous surveyor Mendenhall named this glacier for a miner who was carrying mail from Cook Inlet to Whittier in 1896. He disappeared in a snowstorm and was never seen again. This is Egg Rocks and the Sea Lion Rookery. A stunning 200-foot waterfall cascades from mountain cliffs into the waters of Passage Canal. Kittiwake Bird Rookery is the largest of the bird rookeries in Prince William Sound, where there are up to 8,000 kittiwakes. The 14-story Baggage Towers are notable for being the residence of nearly the entire population of Whittier. It earned Whittier the nickname of a town under one roof. Just north of Anchorage is the former home of John and Dolly Graybill and their daughter Terry. Terry is Sandy's cousin. She took us past the house she was raised by her world-famous bush pilot father. We also visited Spaniard Park. Her parents were honored with a plaque on a bench with a great view of the seaplanes taking off and landing. Then on to Girdwood, where Sandy was able to ride the Alyeska aerial tram. We planned our time around the high tides in Turnagain Arm and are waiting to see the boar tide. There also are a few surfers that are hoping to catch the incoming wall of water. A boar tide is a wall of water that is created by the incoming tide twice a day. The Turnagain Arm tidal fluctuations are created by the narrow, shallow shape of Turnagain Arm and its strong currents. Bordered by towering mountains, Turnagain Arm is one of the most unique and most geologically dramatic boar tides in the world. Because of the most recent full moon, today's wave could reach up to 6 feet, and with boar tide speeds of up to 20 miles an hour, it brings several adventurous surfers out. Watch as they try to surf the incoming tide. We're gonna listen. Look at this, it's cool. That is a tidal bore, baby. We are now heading north towards Denali National Park. On the way, we saw our first moose, a female. The moose is the tallest and second largest land mammal in North America, only falling short of the American buffalo in terms of mass. But first, a stop at the historic village of Talkeetna, which is nestled at the base of North America's tallest peak, Denali. Talkeetna is said to be the inspiration for the fictional community of Sicily in the TV show Northern Exposure. A turn of the 20th century gold mining center, Talkeetna has retained much of its early Alaska flavor. Log cabins, roadhouses, and clapboard storefronts line the streets. Now on to Denali. Across Hurricane Gulch Bridge, the highest bridge in Alaska at 296 feet high. Then a couple of stops to try to see Denali, which means the Great One to native Alaskans. A little cloudy, but we did get a few good shots. Then a quick visit to Igloo City. Intended one day to serve as a hotel, Igloo City was never completed. Its primary significance today is that it marks the halfway point between Fairbanks and Anchorage. After a night in Denali Princess Wilderness Lodge, we are off to Denali National Park and Preserve. The wilderness tour is going to take us 43 miles into the park. First, a female moose. They can be as big as 800 pounds. They feed on willows, alder, birch, grasses, and a few smaller plants. The willow ptarmigan is Alaska's state bird. They are capable flyers, but spend most of their lives on the ground. Dall sheep are prevalent throughout the high mountains within the park. They use the ridges and steep slopes for feeding and resting, and the rocks and crags to elude predators. This large male bull moose can weigh up to 1,600 pounds and can be almost 6 feet tall as he takes a graceful jog in the open. Grizzly bears are omnivores, eating a mixed diet of grasses, berries, roots, fish, and small mammals. They are also predators of caribou and moose and their calf. From Denali, we continue north towards Fairbanks. Our first stop is Gold Dredge number 8, listed on the National Register of Historic Places. It operated from 1928 to 1959. On arrival, we see the Alyeska Pipeline, which runs through the Gold Dredge property. The pipeline is 800 miles long and pumps oil from Prudhoe Bay on Alaska's North Slope to Valdez on the shores of Prince William Sound. It crosses 3 mountain ranges and more than 500 rivers and streams. We board a train to the main camp and get a history lesson of the dredge and gold mining. We then pan for our own gold, a tedious process that took about 30 minutes.
All right, here we go. You got a lot of gold. All right.
I don't know about that. We'll see.
1.1 grains, which is right above.
It's under $1 million, I think.
You think so?
Yeah.
Damn. It's yours to keep. Do whatever the heck you want with it. All right, here we go. A little wet in here. Don't worry, I'll get it all dried up. You want your gold to go home nice and clean.
All right.
Let's see. There's another hanging out in there for you. Here we go. Just a bit of rocks. I'll blow them all out. Alright. That's 2.5 grains, about $15. Alrighty, there you go. Let's
Awesome.
keep.
Thank
Before leaving, a quick tour of the historic Gold Dredge number 8. In anticipation of seeing the Northern Lights, we took a trip to a cabin on a hill near Fairbanks. Our guide is a colorful former 2-time finisher of the Iditarod dog sled race. We waited 3 to 4 hours, but the clouds wouldn't cooperate. Welcome to North Pole, Alaska. We started with a good breakfast at Little Richard's Family Diner. Then on to Santa Claus house, where we saw where the elves work and had a quick conversation with Santa, letting him know that Jordan has been a good boy this year. A 50-mile ride to Chena Hot Springs, a resort that was founded over 100 years ago by 2 gold mining brothers. It is a natural hot spring and the home of the Aurora Ice Museum. The Aurora Ice Museum is the largest ice environment in the world that is year-round and even has the famous Aurora Ice Bar. The indoor temperature is kept at a cool 25 degrees. Upon entering, everyone was given a parka to wear. At the famous Aurora Ice Bar, Sandy had an apple teeny in a custom-made ice cup. As we exited, we continued the tradition of making a wish and breaking the ice cup outside the museum. I want you to hold it up in the air, like that, and then you can make your wish, or whatever your wish is. All right, and then where are you gonna throw it? Throw it directly down over to that side. I'm ready. After a few hours of rest, we tried again to see the northern lights, but the weather wouldn't cooperate. A final drive through Fairbanks and some great scenic views of the Alaskan range. Then, on to the airport to travel home.